Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the SH Monsterarts Gamera 1999 Kyoto Battle version. Now, this version of Gamera comes from the 1999 film Gamera 3 Revenge of Iris, or Revenge of Iris? I don't know, I've heard a couple pronunciations of the movie's title and, that character, and I've been calling it Iris for a while, so I'm gonna stick with Iris. I'm probably wrong on that, but I'm just going to go with my gut and say Iris. So, yeah. Anyway, Gamera 3, regardless, is a phenomenal movie. Not only is it my favorite Gamera movie, but it is also, honestly, easily my fourth favorite movie of all time. Like, it is such a phenomenal movie. Like, such a thematically rich movie. I can't even explain it within this, brief time to, talk about it. I need to dedicate, an entire video to talk about Gamera 3. But just know I love Gamera 3 and it is a masterpiece. I know if you're familiar with Gamera, then obviously Gamera 3. That's like the Godzilla 1954 of the Gamera series, but I digress, Gamera 3 is still a phenomenal movie. The other Heisei Gamera movies are great too, and I definitely recommend that you check those out, but Gamera 3 is the best, no question. One more thing I want to say before getting into this video. A happy little coincidence that I'm actually uploading this video the day that Gamera Rebirth comes out, which I think is, pretty cool. I've been excited about Gamera Rebirth since, it was announced, back in November of 2022. And, yeah, it's coming out today as of me uploading this. I'm recording this beforehand, so I have a little bit before the series comes out, a little over a week, but still, though, I'm very excited. I can't wait to check it out when it drops, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. I don't really have a whole lot else to say, so let's just get right into this. Like usual, to start this review, we're going to take a look at the paint first, and the painting on this figure I think looks very nice, so let's take a closer look. So starting off at the head here, we can see that Gamera's eyes are painted this sort of like a cyan color, which I think looks nice, and his pupils are painted orange, to make it look like he's in a burning city, which I think looks really cool. The inside of his mouth is painted a salmon pink, which again looks nice. All the teeth are painted this brownish yellowish color, which I think look nice. His tusks here are just kind of slapped on. There's no shading going on here, so they just kind of end there. I feel like that could have been a little neater, but still, it doesn't look bad at all. And one more thing I want to point out is that the original release of this figure had really bad paint right here in the lower jaw here, but here it actually looks good. So, yeah, the painting on the head is very solid. The rest of the body is this nice charcoal blackish color, which looks very nice, but there's some subtle hints of green throughout here as well, which I think adds a lot to the coloration of this figure. Speaking of green, the underside of the carapace here is painted sort of like a brighter shade of green towards the inner part of each section, but then they get darker towards the outwards section. And I think the painting here looks really good. So yeah, they did a great job here. Gamera's fingernails and his little elbow spike here are painted this yellowish brownish color, which looks nice. And same with the toenails here, that same coloration, and again, they look really nice here. One last thing to point out, the back of the carapace here is, well, it's casted in this blackish coloration, but there's a lot of green airbrushing going on here, which I think looks really nice here. It really just adds so much character to this figure, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the painting on this figure. And the painting on this figure is very good. It is a huge step up from the original release, and yeah, overall, the painting on this figure is fantastic. So the painting here, I'd say definitely gets a pass. Now, we'll take a look at the articulation, and the articulation on this figure, it's about the same as the other SH Monsterarts Gamera figures that I looked at on this channel before. Not that it's bad, the articulation is still good here, but, well, let me just shut up and show you. So first off, the mouth can open and close like so. Gamera can look up that far. Though one thing to point out, at least on mine, this piece here just kind of sticks out like that. Like, I can push it, like, back in there, and it looks good, but, like, whenever, like, it just keeps, like, popping out like that. So that's a little upsetting, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. But Gamera can look down, like so. The shoulders here are on ball joints. And again, just like with the other SH Monsterarts Gameras that I reviewed in the past, like, this piece here just kind of, like, it moves in and out, so it can be kind of weird to, like, move this figure's arm. At points, it's just kind of annoying because this, like, piece kind of disrupts that, but I digress. We have a slight bend in the elbow here, so we can move a little bit like so. You know, and the hand is on a very, very limited ball joint. The thigh is on a ball joint. Very tight ball joint, but still a ball joint. The knees can, you know, bend like so. And the feet are on ball joints as well. And the tail on this figure, you know, has a few joints here, so you can move the tail in various different ways, which, you know, is really cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the articulation on this figure. And again, like, it's about the same as the other SH Monsterarts Gamera figures that I reviewed, but still, the articulation here, like, it's still very solid. So the articulation here, I'd say definitely gets a pass. This figure comes with a couple accessories, one of which being his Banishing Fist, which is, of course, how he killed Iris in Gamera 3. Sorry to spoil a almost 25-year-old movie, but still, that's what happens in the movie. We also have another alternate arm piece. This piece is to replicate the scene in the movie where he blows his own arm off. In SH Monsterarts Gamera tradition, Gamera also has a flight mode here, so what you want to do is you want to take off all of Gamera's limbs, you want to take off his tail, and you want to take off this little crotch piece here. You want to take off these little... I don't have nails right now. You want to take off these little pieces off of the carapace here, like so. Replace them with these little fins here. Put on these alternate arms and lower torso piece. And rest him on his flight stand here. And with all that said and done, I think Gamera looks really good in his flight form. One thing I will say, not so much about Gamera, but more so the stand. I wish the stand was a little taller, and I wish you could, like, adjust it, like, more, because, like, this I feel like is way, like, too close to the ground. I feel like it would have looked a little nicer if it was, like, higher, but I digress. You know, this still looks really nice, but I'm just saying it would have been nicer if the stand was just a little higher off the ground. Now, we'll take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpting on this figure I think looks, honestly, pretty much perfect. You know, I think, like, all the proportions here I think look nice. Nothing's, like, too big or too out of place or anything like that, and overall, I do really like the sculpting here. And even the head, I just want to talk about. In my, or I was gonna say my original review. No, like, I never had the original figure. But the original figure, I remember, it looked off. It did not look like how it was supposed to look. You know, it didn't look terrible outright, but it still wasn't really, like, you know, it didn't look fantastic. But here, they definitely, like, refined the head sculpt a little bit, so now it looks closer to what we see in Gamera 3. And yeah, it just looks really good. So yeah, the sculpting here, again, pretty much perfect. So the sculpting here, I'd say, definitely gets a pass. Now, we'll take a look at the detailing, and the detail on this figure is phenomenal. So let's take a closer look. So starting off at the head here, we can see all of, like, the ridges and all of, like, little, like, crevices in the face here, I think is detailed beautifully. And his mohawk here, again, just phenomenal stuff right here. And even his neck here, again, we just have a lot of really nice bits of, like, wrinkles and creases in the skin. It just looks really nice. Everything here is, like, honestly perfectly defined. Like, this is like some unreal stuff right here. Like, say what you want about the prices and, like, the paint quality on SH Monsterarts figures, but, like, the detailing is usually like really on point, and this figure is no exception. You know, like the arms here again, just really nice looking detailing here. Everything here is like perfectly defined. And even the underside of the carapace here, just again, just looks really nice here. All of, like little like cracks and like creases and whatnot here, just looks really nice. Some really nice detailing on the legs here, just a lot of really nice creases and like musculature and whatnot. And even the toes have a fair bit of scaling there, which looks phenomenal. The tail here, again, just a lot of really nice detailing. All of like the bit of like armor plating here at the top of the tail here looks nice, and like all of the creases and everything just looks amazing. And even the underside of the feet, have like a really nice bit of detailing here, which looks really nice. And the last thing I want to point out, the back side of the carapace. This just looks phenomenal. Like all of the little bumps and whatnot, I think look really nice. But also like all of like the little like cracks and scars here, I think add so much character to this figure. It's like not even funny, man. Like this looks really good right here, detail wise. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the detailing here, and the detailing on this figure is pretty phenomenal. So the detailing here, I'd say, definitely gets a pass. Now, we'll do some size comparisons. To start, here we have the SH Monsterarts Gamera 1996. Here we have the SH Monsterarts Gamera 1995. And really quick, I just want to say, it's really nice to see all of the Heisei Gamera boys in Monsterarts form. Like, it's nice to have them. I know, like, we've had a Gamera 3 for a while, but it's nice to have an SH Monsterarts Gamera 3 Gamera that actually looks good. So, yeah, it is really cool to see these three together. Here we have the Bandai Movie Monster Series Iris. In case you're wondering, no, I did not pick up the SH Monsterarts Iris because I want to keep my kidneys, thank you. And of course, here we have some hand sanitizer. And here we have Dr. Billy Grant. So at the end of the day, should you get this figure? I'd say yes. I do actually really like this figure. I think the painting is great, the articulation is great, the sculpting, the detailing, everything about this figure is great, and even the accessories I think are pretty cool. It would have been nice if there was like a fire like effect piece, like Gamera was like shooting a fireball or something like that. That would have been cool. But again, like the accessories we do have is really cool, and I'm not knocking that. So yeah, this figure is great, and I definitely recommend that you pick this figure up. As far as price tags go, this figure is about like, well, I got mine for $120, which sounds expensive, and to be fair, it is expensive, but like, the other two SH Monsterarts Gamera figures, I had to pay like aftermarket prices, which was like over $250, so I will gladly take, $120 for this guy any day. And it's, a shame that Iris is as expensive as it is, but this figure scales well with the Bandai vinyl, so I guess I don't really need it, I guess. I would have liked to have owned it, but again, I want to keep my kidneys. But still, I'm getting off topic. The price, it's high, but this is actually a really nice figure, and I do recommend that you pick this guy up because everything about this figure is completely on point. Like, very minor things, but for the most part, like, this figure is great, and like I said before, I definitely recommend that you pick this figure up. So, yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zack out.